everybody. This is Reverend Apostle Bishop. These days there's so many titles, and people are gonna say that I'm actually making a joke of all of these particular titles, Reg. But that's not the case, family. That's seriously not the case. So I'm trying to just balance our sound out. Um, and I think because a few people have been telling me that the sound is not too, it comes out like an echo. So I hope it is better. It sounds better for me on my side. Um, just indicate to us if there is a better sound on your side. Um, and if you can, the first person who can, we will basically give you a cheer that you will be able to pick up. We will cheer with you, and that's the cheering sound that we've got. I don't know, Reginald is busy watching um, the Facebook streaming, and that is where you can basically speak to us on that basis. It will really be um, helpful if you are able to just help us quickly. If the sound is much better, um, just let me know. Um, um, Please, I will really appreciate it. Um, and I'm getting messages as well from people. Um, Reginald is trying to listen as well, how the volume is and how the sound is, um, if it is coming through on a better waveline. So today we are freelancing. Today we are freelancing, and you'll be able to tell me if you are able to hear us, and if everything is on a better um, on a better um, space or capacity that you are able to hear and um, get it from us. Please indicate. Is anyone telling us there on Facebook? Are you getting something from Facebook?
Yes, only I see Colette.
Sister Colette joined.
Yeah, Ricardo, sound still soft. Apostle Ricardo.
Okay. Is it better now? I've turned up the volume. They must just be able to tell us if they can hear us much better. If you are able to.
Now it'd be better.
Okay. Is it much better? Okay, there we see some thumbs up. Hello, everybody. I see. Um, uh, yeah, I see quite a lot of people up. Give us some love on Facebook. If you can share love or thumbs up. Please don't give us an angry face. We don't want an angry face. Yeah, please don't give us an angry face. The volume, if it's much better now, I would really appreciate if you can indicate to us. Um, I'll really appreciate that. Once again, apology um, for for um, what's that? For starting late. For starting late, and apology for sounding like I am ill prepared here. No, I'm not ill prepared. I'm definitely not ill prepared. I am so looking forward. So um, for the first 15 minutes, um, if there's any prayer requests that you would like to share us to pray with you, um, please share it. If there's anything that you would like us to discuss, if there's something that you would like us to discuss, we are watching. If on Facebook, on Twitter, on X, if we called it Twitter. If there's anything that you would like us to, for the first half of this period, um, just speak about, please indicate to me quickly. Indicate to me quickly. I will really, really appreciate that. Um, um, Please, are you getting anything from the people?
Just like I see sister quality, but only slightly still soft, Apostle.
It's still soft.
Still soft.
Okay, and how's it now, Sister Colette? Just let us know.
100%.
If there's anything that you order, it's a free um, capacity. Just give it some time to think, and just tell us what would you like us to discuss, and give you perhaps clarity on something. We are not claiming that we know everything, please, beloveds. We're not claiming that we know everything. But if there's something that you would like us to discuss before we're going to advertise our book, please get this book, The Victory of the Believer Through Christ. It's 100 Rand. You can call us if you're in South Africa. It's 011 211 0722. 011 211 0722. That is our number, where you can put your audio, your order, and audio. I'm concerned with the audio, your order. And Reg,
But a message
yeah,
is echo on your sound.
is it too much
Brother
echo?
Leandro.
Brother Leandro said there's echo on my sound. Yeah. Okay. Please, I'm dropping it. Please let me know how is our sound now. If there's still much echo on the sound, Pastor Leandro. Um, any topic that you want us, or you want clarity on, please share and give me clarity on those particular things. Please share and give me clarity, or what clarity you want. That's what we're gonna do for free flow um, this afternoon. This afternoon, that's what we're gonna do. Free flow, free flow, free flow. Oh, you want to say something?
Uh, Let me just greet our beloved listener, and I would like to thank them so much, to participate on this movement that we've been,
Yeah.
doing this podcast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I believe that God has done so much, and I would like also to, to give them chance also to give us maybe a short testimony, just to type
Awesome.
about this podcast.
Yes.
Because to be honest, on my side, it has changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
It has changed, and I learned a lot while I'm sitting here. So just imagine while you are watching. So I'm here, but I'm still learning a lot. So please, if there's
Yeah.
anything happened through this podcast in your life, or God has spoken to you, has given you a clarity or any direction
On
in your
something,
life that
yeah.
you've been praying for, so that would be good to share with us, so that it will also go to
Yeah.
motivate others.
Okay.
So yeah.
Anyone? Are you seeing anything coming through there, sir?
Okay, Brother Reginald is sounding too soft.
Brother Reg is sounding too soft. Brother Reg, don't speak louder. Speak into the
Brother
mic.
Reginald, are you sounding soft? Okay.
What are they saying?
Uh,
Brother Reg is too soft. Brother Reg is too soft. Brother Reg, they want to hear you.
Pastor Leandro, you can say something again.
Okay, say
Please
something
say
again.
something that will be, that will make my ear feel good.
And how's Brother Reg sounding now, beloveds? we've turned up his volume, um, and I think that's something that we looking at there. Anyone? Okay.
The echo seems louder. The echo seems louder.
The echo is we don't have echo on. The echo is totally turned down. The echo is totally turned down. Okay, what I will do is let me put it like that. 1, 2. Then it's gonna be too soft. Um, but I think that would be much better on our side. I've pushed up the yeah yeah. Okay. If you are still out there, um, I'm thinking, Reg, um,
Yes.
how is politics contributing to the activation of the sin nature of humanity? I think that's something that we can talk about.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think of humanity and the activation? And I think what people need to understand, we are not trying to 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 blame any criminal acts of individuals what they are doing and blaming the actions of the individual on what on politicians or politics or the laws of all our legislations. Um, we need to see, or I think we need to talk about this reality of um, how it activates the sin nature that humanity has, and um, get to a degree of um, not really slandering politics,
Okay.
but speak of the truth. I don't know, how do you feel about that? Can we can we go into that today? Because the people don't want to. They don't want to say anything to us today. They feel like 118 preacher. You know it all, so you give us what you think, and um, based on our discussion. Um, if you would like us to go there, please indicate if that's where you want us to go. If that's what you want us to talk about, please let me know by a sharp sign, yes sign. Um, I see our sound is loud enough now. The echo seems louder. Okay, we've dropped it. Sound is better. Thank you so much. You still
Okay.
echoing on my side. It could be, Pastor Leandro, that it is your volume or your sound, because everything I've dropped here on my side, just probably lower your volume. So, what do you think of us discussing um, how politics in general, and I'm not talking about a political party, how politics in general activate the sin nature of a believer and an unbeliever? So, because the sin nature is still in the believer, the Lord has not removed the sin nature. The only thing, when we come to Christ, what He does is He suppresses the sin nature, and God uses it for chastisement purposes. Okay, so that's how God uses the sin nature to our benefit, but He chastises us on that particular basis. And I see Deacon Ricardo is also watching this morning. Welcome, Deacon. Welcome, Pastor Lelo. Welcome, Sister Landre. And Sister Colette is on. And those are our people currently. If you can, please just share with as much as people that you can. Um, put it, you can copy our link and you can put it on your status. It will, it will really, really help us um, on that basis. Please load it on your statuses and everything like that. It will really, really help us. Um, um, okay, okay, okay. So, um, if you are fine with that particular topic, please indicate and let me know if um, that's what you would like us to discuss. What do you think? What do you think?
Uh, I think that would be
I know I'm stretching you today.
yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it in my. That's okay. That's okay.
I know I am stretching you today. Um, how is how is politics? How is politics affecting the activation of the sin nature within the child of God or even within the unbeliever? Yeah, I'm listening to you, sir.
So it's okay to stretch me, but however, I'm just gonna, touch the apostle.
Yeah, touch
Because
there, touch there and
you're
there,
stretching me too much
touch
when
there
it
and
comes to
there,
politics and
in the church.
in the church.
Okay.
Cause
Okay, so a particular question was asked. Um, can the church be involved into politics? What is your view on that?
uh, for me, when you say the church, you mean the body,
The
not
body,
individual.
not individual, not individual. Even they always say there's politics within the church, and I don't see it in that regard because um, if there is politics within the church, then we need to look at our constitutions that we are drawing up. What's happening in most churches is you have churches operating in a similar way as a political party. You find that, and especially in denominations, you find that certain people are voted in and voted out. Okay, so what they are doing is, remember, um, they they take this particular aspect where when Judas died and that one apostle had to be replaced, then there was a voting that took place. Okay. So now they use that one incident, and I always say that it has only happened once. The very same thing when it speaks of um, the handkerchief that Paul has said, give you a handkerchief, and that individual has been healed. It happened once. There's no reoccurrence that it means that we have to do that as well as ministers. Okay, so um, but we do see that the calling of the Lord is important. So number one, now you find this particular scenario where people are voted in, and it's no longer based on what God has to say. So Apostle Gary starts the ministry. He runs the denominations. Um, so, at the expense of what people has to say, certain policies are voted in, certain um, rules and regulations are voted in within the church based on people that forms part of a delegation, and they have the right to vote without other members. So there's every church in the denomination now has a particular amount of delegation, and these delegations are worked out on the basis of what is your membership count. So if your membership count is 500 or 800, then you get a bigger delegation that's being sent to go and vote on your behalf. Okay? But if your church has a small capacity of 50 members, then your delegation is small. So now a small group of people is being sent to go to the conference of the church where certain rules and regulations is being made. So that particular capacity, and now people say that there is politics within the church. Is this what God has or Jesus Christ has instituted? Is it right? Is it biblical? You get what I'm saying? And this is where I say that um, the sin nature of certain individuals are activated on this behalf. Because what happens now is, I am your brother. We are brothers in the Lord. We are in one denomination. But what takes place now is, because both of us are standing for the one same position, we need to now scout amongst the delegations. I must go make promises amongst the delegations to vote for me. And I need to have a whole campaign that says why you need to vote for me so that I can become the, the head of the entire denominations. And I now, for instance, because we are standing for the same um, position, I'm going to have to get certain information that is ugly about you and spill the beans so that certain people cannot vote for you. That's an activation of the sin nature. We find ourselves going against the two commandments of God that says, love your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. So, based on all of that, we now get to a position of fighting each other, breaking one another for a position. And that is how politics activates the sin nature within the church. If we look at how many times these particular things are contributing to the ugliness and evilness that people are presenting in the church, and yet we call one another children of God. And that's what causes great harm. So it's no longer of what God says or what God has indicated or what God has chosen or who He has chosen. I always say the following, and this is what I say to my children and to my wife. When God has called me, He has not only called me as the individual, as Gary. He has called all of us. You get what I'm saying? He's called my entire family to do a particular work. And I always use the scenario of a canvas picture. And then a whole canvas is full of paint. But then you come and find in God's purpose of this entire canvas, I'm placed in the right corner. And my purpose is only to be one dot of that canvas. Am I able to fulfill that one dot of paint in the canvas? You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And and because we don't see how politics has influenced the greed, how politics has influenced. And now you must imagine, if this is the case within the church, imagine what it does within the secular world. Because the reality of all of us is, being a believer and an unbeliever, we were made with the sin nature after Adam has fallen. We occupy, we um, we obtained a sin nature that we could not deal with. It required a God to leave his deity and to become man, be incarnated
Yes, sir.
in
Yes, sir.
men to deal with what we could not have dealt with. It, it could not require an angel to come. It had to be God to get us to that degree of walking in victory.
That's true, sir.
So, if this is an issue in the church, how much more will it be an issue within the world?
Yeah.
Within the world.
That would be a nightmare.
For instance, if you, I'm getting now to you. Did you see the new mayor that was elected in America? I think is it Chicago or New York? Um, and he's a Muslim. He's a new mayor, and based on his victory, the first thing that he said was Donald Trump speaking to his president. And he says, Donald Trump, I hope you are listening. I want to give you 4 words. Put the volume louder. So, on this particular capacity, imagine what that type of politics is creating in the secular world. How the evil is brought about. We see it in terrorists. It's political influences that allow people to become this extremists of becoming he calls himself a martyr and blowing up an entire mall and kill approximately 800 to 1,000 people, and you would say it is done on the basis of Allah. What, how is religion affected by all of this to a degree that we see what's happening in Sudan currently? We see what's happening to Nigeria, North, at this point of time, where people are killing on the basis of religion. And Christianity, and I want to make this clear, Christianity is not religion. It is a relationship. It's a relationship. Um, the, the, this book is our constitution. Nothing else. We are commanded to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Can you see how it has activated?
That's true, sir. That's true. And Apostle, as you touched some very important issue here, and also you also mentioned at the beginning when you quoted the way the church replaced Judas, and also it takes me back to Stephen
Yeah, Stephen.
when
Yeah.
he was. Now it shows us that
Come on.
you know
Come on.
they didn't just because of they love you, because of they know that you are hard work and everything. First they invited the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
They pray about it, they fasted about it,
Yeah.
because they didn't want their decision to influence the work of God, but
Yeah.
however let it be the influence of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And also when we come to church, this is what we found. And now I'll have to say it straight. We cannot uh, point also the system that is outside the church,
Yeah.
but we have to point the leaders. From my side, I could say they remind me of the old prophet Eli. Where,
Yes. 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 Yes.
where look at this. How many times Samuel came to him? Because God was speaking to Samuel. But because of Eli was oh my goodness.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Say it.
Eli was no longer connected.
Yeah.
He became so old
Yeah.
in his spiritual realities. So that is why he couldn't even see the call of God towards upon someone.
He couldn't.
He couldn't. He had to return it back again and again. And this is what is happening in the church. Now, even though you have a strong calling and God has called you to serve Him in that denomination, and now God placed something great that was going to change the whole entire denomination. But because here come Reginald with a big tithe, here come Apostle with no so much dedication in the ministry, helping financial and those things. And you, even though you don't have the call of God,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because of what you are contributing
Yeah.
in the church, now they give you all access for you to be part of great things.
Yeah.
And now the one that has called, they were put him aside because of why he cannot contribute much. And this is how now it affects because of why we are running it like the way politicians do.
Yes.
And I want to highlight something again, Apostle.
Yes.
Let's say you have a son,
Okay.
and that son doesn't have a calling.
Yes. But but before you go there, and this is what I want to clarify is, um, your children are called. Your children are called. The problem is we don't see it this way in regards to how Abraham have seen. The we have less servants because remember, the Lord has added, I think, approximately 100 years to Abraham's life when Jacob and Esau was born. This is the reason why you could see how Jacob took the blessing serious. You get what I'm saying? And Esau sold his birthright. He neglected it. And Jacob, um, to a degree, the Bible says that Esau and Jacob fought in the womb for who will be the firstborn. And we don't see these things like this. And this is what I'm saying to 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 my children. If Reginald is called, Reginald's entire family is called. And when we talk of the calling, we're not just talking of a calling to be a pastor or to run a church. There's a reality where um, Reginald can serve under me, but he's called to do that, and his family is called to do that. But that's the law of success. But this is what we don't understand. You get what I'm saying? When we look at um, what was Abraham's servant's name? It started with the E, Ali or something like that. And his servant received the blessings and the fullness. That's why that man didn't even wanted to leave Abraham. His children served Abraham's house. His children served. He even served Isaac because he understood that. Our problem is all of us want to have vision. All of us wants to be great. And we don't know. And this is why Jesus Christ says that the greatest of them all are the ones who serve. When you are called to be a deacon or an assistant pastor within a church or a elder within a church, it's your responsibility to make sure your children understands that. That's how we build generational success. So if God blesses me as the head of the house, the oil flows down up until my foot sole. Everybody gets the blessing. part of that blessing. But we don't want that because now this and this is why the politics came in. We think that this politics came in to bring peace and they give certain people a term so you can only serve for 5 years on this particular term. After that, you will be voted off and someone else comes and stuff like it. You're not seeing God's heart. Not seeing God's heart. Not seeing God's heart. That's the reason why we are experiencing churches being started on the basis of misinformation or a situation that have taken place where people are fighting. Now I have a group of people that I've influenced. Let me leave with this people. But you don't understand the law of success. Don't understand the law of success. The only time you can leave that particular individual is when there is error being preached. Why? Because your family is getting that very same error.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? Your family is getting that error. There's only two reasons why people must leave the church. Only two reasons. One, if there's error from the pulpit. Two, if the man of God is committing adultery and he doesn't want to repent from it. He lies, he covers it, he and he don't want to take responsibility of it. That's the two reasons people can leave the church. Error from the podium and in that regard. Don't tell me about my pastor didn't greet me. That's why you leave the church.
Yeah, no, there's so many people that they leave just because of that.
Don't tell me that your pastor did pass you. Now you're leaving the church. He just hooted, beep beep, and he passed. He didn't even offer a lift for me to go to this. You're missing the reality of what this is all about. What this is all about. There's and that's why I'm saying we are called. And this is something that I needed to go and do research on. People think when God called me for ministry, I ran from this thing for approximately 5 years to a degree that I left Ennerdale. I moved out with my family. I was fine with the fact that let me serve under people, but I don't want this. I ran away from it. I said to myself, I don't want ministry. Even though I knew from a very young age that God has called me. My parents knew that God has called me to run ministry. He knew, and my mind, my mentality was just totally different from from other way or other people's mentality of leading. People are leading with hardship. People are leading with um, this particular aspect of they have all of this under control and they just want to do these things their way and how they want to bring the secular into the world, into the church and all of those particular things. That is not I have this view of leadership where I'll always give you the benefit of the doubt. Always. If you feel like you want to take advantage of me, know that God sees you. If you want to manipulate me, know that God sees you. And that's the very same thing for me. You can speak good of me in front of me, but when you are behind me, you're only robbing yourself from the reality of serving that man of God. As the very same blessing that needs to be upon you, you might have intention of serving this particular individual. The Lord sees that heart. But when you do it in a pure and a good heart, the Lord, how He sustains me and how He keeps me and what He blesses me with, that's what you can expect. It's what you can expect. And it's not just on a material capacity. It's even on a reality of what God has given to us. And every blessing that we receive, its location is heaven, according to Ephesians chapter 1. Its location is heaven. It comes through Christ. But this is the danger and the evil of politics. We don't see the law of success when it comes to us being called.
So, Apostle, what can you say in this point of Reginald? Now, Reginald has sons. Reginald is a head pastor. He got sons. And okay, the sons, they're in the church, involved, in some stuff, let's say sounds, transportation, but however, when it comes to the preaching of the gospel, they are not interested.
Yeah.
They show no interest in it. And now Reginald has pastors who are under him.
Yeah.
Those pastors, they are serving God excellently.
Yeah.
Those pastors, they are dedicated in the work of God. They are preaching the gospel of Christ.
Yes.
And now it comes a time where now Reginald have to, I say, you know what, I cannot be up front anymore.
Yeah.
I want to sit back now because I'm old now. And according to the family tradition, because of when I open the church, people they know that this is the Apostle Reginald's church.
Yeah.
This is our family church.
Yes.
But my sons are not there, so I'm leaving.
Yes.
I'm pushing. We as a family, we are pushing in one of our sons so that it can run to the family. The way my grandfather did it, but I have pastors already.
Yeah.
So those who are ready to take over and to lead God's people. So how can you know, maybe any suggestion, explanation on that, Apostle? Because
And this is where this thing is coming in, Rich. Is when the pastor has failed, when the father has failed to groom the elder son to understand its responsibility. When if the pastor is only focused on his own fame and fortune, and he never came to a point of sitting down with the elder son, or even ask the Lord, Father, which one? Which one? Because remember, when Samuel had to go and choose a king for Israel, the Lord did send a seer, and he went to Jacob's house. And that's how he got David. But David had to be taught by Jacob, because Jacob was taught of being a nation. Remember what Jacob went through, wrestling with the angel to a point that his hip, and some scholars says that his wrestle was with Jesus Christ himself, where he says, I won't leave you until you bless me. Who would say that a broken hip is a blessing? So Jacob understood the mandate. Jacob understood why his family has been called. Jacob Jacob understood the reality of why his name had to be changed from Jacob to Israel. And Jacob had to pass this on to his children. Sometimes we make much of David being the servant boy, but it's his father who taught him. Abraham taught, the Lord blessed Abraham with more years to teach Jacob, to teach them the practicality. And that's why Jesus Christ says in the book of John 8 to the Pharisees, your father Abraham waited for my day. Because Abraham knew what was the mandate. Abraham understood what was the call. The same with Isaac. That's why Isaac wanted to give the blessing off to his elder son. Jacob would probably took the blessing from a fraudulent capacity. But the Lord dealt with Jacob. The Lord brought him back. The Lord made him experience to work for one wife, and then they fraudulently, what you sow you will reap. And he needed to repent of that. Don't do things in this way. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
and he needed to work another 7 years to get the woman that he loved. That's what God does with us. If I fail as a father to groom my child, God will raise up another man in the church, other pastors. And most of us, as men of God, we ignore that reality that God has spoken to us and say, give the church over to this particular person. It doesn't mean that if I am not choosing you today, that I won't bless Ishmael. Even though Ishmael and his mother had to leave the camp of Abraham, the Lord came and the Lord said to, is it, what's her name? Hagar, the servant of Sarah. He said to her, I will look after you. I will bless and I will make him a nation. That blessing that was on your father and whoever he has called, if your father has failed to prepare you, God needs to prepare you.
That's right.
He will take you in a time of silence. If he has put someone else in that particular church, he will put that person in that particular church. But it doesn't mean that God has not forgotten about you. And at times we allow our pride to go ahead of us instead of understanding that my father has failed to prepare me. I can't go and learn on the pulpit.
This is what we found
Because the Bible says you can't put a novice there. I can't go and learn on the pulpit. I need to go into that silence. It took Paul 14 years. Remember when Paul was saved, falling from his horse like the apartheid guy. What's his name? Van der West isn't. That said, I will blow up this country from platform to platform. But he fell, and then he woke up. His sight is being given to him. He wants to go and preach the gospel because of this miracle. The Lord says, relax, boy.
Process.
Even there's a process. Silence Paul for 14 years. 14 years before he got the right hand of fellowship to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Don't think that one miracle or gift qualifies
You're right too.
qualifies you to preach the gospel. And that's why we have more men standing behind our pulpit that has no clue of the mandate of Christ. They can't preach. They can't be apologists defending the faith. They can't, because all they know is to scream and shout and turn people around and all of those things and lay hands on people, and that's all they know about church. Am I saying those things are wrong? No. But when do you come to a point of when you defend the faith? When do you have the boldness to speak to a Muslim and defend our faith? If you have the boldness to speak to a Hindu to defend our faith, because there's a mandate from Abraham and all of those particular things, they defended the faith. Defended it. And that's what these politics are doing within the body of Christ. Now, I'm a father, I'm laying on my deathbed. All of a sudden, your wife come and speak in your ear. Hey, what's going to happen with us? This church must still stay in our so that we can still live. If your wife speaks like that, it tells you, you as a husband have failed. You as a husband has failed. What have you failed? You have failed to teach your children about the attributes of God. You have failed this man. If they are depending on the church for funds, failed. They are depending on the well-being of my future, and the church must. And I'm saying this because it's not easy. Not easy as a pastor.
That's true. That's true.
But if we are saying these things and we live by these particular things because we want to live from the church, we have failed. We have failed. That's it.
No, that's clear. That's clear, Apostle. No, that's a clear explanation. I hope our listeners are listening there. And please, if you have any comment, just comment. Just comment there. Or if there's any particular question that has been in your mind for a long time, or maybe you just had a question now because of you heard us speaking about something. You are free to comment. You are free to comment, beloved. You are free to comment. And Apostle, because our time is
Almost up, yeah.
is moving now. Uh, you touched something very important also when you're taking us back to Jacob.
Yeah. Okay.
And now the way you came with it, because of most of us, we knew Jacob with that name.
Yeah.
So his name already was represent who he was.
Yeah.
But however, because when you look at this way, Esau's children, even though the parents passed, it was going to be the same thing.
Yes.
It was going to be the same thing. But when we realized that Jacob, it came a time when he was tired, not because of him, but he was looking at his children.
Yes.
That now, if I die now, it means my children will still go to run. Because I've been in a run for so many years. But now it has to end here.
Yes.
That is why he took a decision and to send his family away so that he can deal with this matter.
Yes.
He can deal with this matter because he didn't even care that he's going to die there.
Yeah.
He didn't care of anything, but what he cared about is about his family's future.
Yes. Yes.
If I go now, where are they going to take on, or what is going to be there to sustain them? Because of my legacy, it's stained already. So that is why he wanted his name to be changed, so that.
And look, he didn't want the name to be changed. It was God who changed his name. You get what I'm saying? Based on his experience. If you look at what has happened to Jacob with his father-in-law, there was a process of repentance. To a time where Jacob now decided and he saw, because his father-in-law saw the blessing of the Lord upon him.
Upon him, yes.
And he saw that this guy is going to make me wealthy, even in his servanthood. But the Lord allowed him to repent. And then he came to a degree and he said, let me leave. Let me take my family and let me leave. This very same thing that have happened to his father, his grandfather Abraham, he did it.
That's true.
Genesis chapter 12. Pack up your things, leave and go to the land where I am sending you to. Jacob, pack up your things, leave and go to the land where I am sending you to. That's an act of repentance. That's an act of repentance, and that's a blessing. And that's what we need to recognize and realize. You understand?
Yes,
So
yes,
within this particular process, Jacob came to a degree that even him no longer running away from his brother Esau that was so angry with him, that wanted to kill him, to a degree that he saw his brother and there was peace between them because of his repentance. So that tells you that the Lord even have dealt with Esau to make Esau understand, son, yeah, you didn't want this score. Never wanted it. And that's how the Lord has blessed them. You know, that's how the Lord has kept them. And that's what we need to understand. We must get to the reality of understanding that God is sovereign.
yes, sir.
He's sovereign in everything. He understands it all. And we must live our lives. If we take these patriots, those guys came to the realization that independence in the system that Satan has created is just but an illusion.
That's true.
That's all that they have recognized. And that's what we need to get to. When I serve you, and even to a degree, something that I was wanna pray, then you come in here that the youngest, the elders will serve the youngest. What's that? To humiliate people for the eldest brother? No.
Not at all.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing. When we get this, when we understand this, we recognize what God wants to do. That's the beauty. That's the blessing. That's the total change of us being in the faith and us being in a legal capacity of running church. Politics is dangerous. Politics is dangerous. People have come to a degree now where they are calling malice, people speaking about each other, and people hurting each other in the church. They call even those things politics. Those are not politics. Those are acts of sin. It's not politics. Groupings and people becoming groupings, and those are acts of sin. It's not politics. Not politics. That's what we must understand. And we call these particular things politics in the church, and those people are discussing there, and you have this particular one that tries to take over the church and all of those. That's sin. Let's get to the point of that particular aspect where someone designs conflict in the church. The Bible says it is equivalent to witchcraft. Don't call it politics. Don't use politics to justify your acts of sin. The reality is that the sin nature is ruling within your life. And that's what we must understand. You calling it sin? No, it's not sin. You calling it politics? No, it's not politics. It's sin.
And Apostle, there are a few pastors that are crying today because of they God gave them vision and they start opening the church and the church was running well, everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Now because church is growing, now bring some other pastor in and everything. Now because of he's been standing for gospel for a long time.
Mm.
Now this ones now they feel like they have little power and now they going, to scheme on that man. So you know what, because of he's too much into gospel.
Yeah.
And us when we have our time, yes we do gospel, but we also mix in with feminism and
And all
those
of
things.
those
You
things.
understand? So they had to come together
And scheme.
and group themselves together because
Yeah.
there were so many.
Yeah.
And now they have to vote this man of God up.
And that's what's happening. They use the constitution of the church to vote, because remember what's happening most um, in most of the churches today is the fact that your constitution must be aligned to the standard of the government legislature. You get what I'm saying? So now that particular constitution is used against you. It's being used against you as a man of God, because you have greedy individuals. They're greedy. They are power hungry. The sin nature is so devious that you can be poor and still be power hungry. You can see the church as a means of, this is how I'm gonna build my riches. That's where most churches have started. But then you find certain people that have started churches on the basis of business,
That's true.
you know, and now they can't handle it when God takes everything away, because there's a process in ministry. There's a process in ministry, because the church of God has to teach people how to live by faith. If we can't, as the head and the pastors, teach you how to live by faith, and it means we, our preaching is affecting people to live by material gain. And all that we're preaching about is how you need to honor the man of the Lord, how you need to make sure the man of the Lord lives well. Am I against those things? No, I'm not, but we're not making it the emphasis of our ministry. We're not making it the emphasis of people. Bless your pastor. Look after your pastor. Celebrate your pastor. But don't preach it. Christ must be preached.
Hey, this is what we found in our pulpit today. We have to make sure that everyone knows about me.
God, the Spirit of the Lord must get you to a point of um, directing you to say, there's no groceries in your man of God's house. Go buy. Go do that. It mustn't be taught from the pulpit. The pulpit must be used to preach Christ. We can't scheme and have the one pastor to go and say, hey, go preach and tell the people to give for the man of God, appreciate the man of God, and do this for the man of God, and love the man of God, show your love to the man of God. Can't have that. It's a problem. Our time is up.
Yeah, today, hey,
Our time is up.
everybody is tired today. When I entered, but everyone was tired. Now,
I think today's topic was that the free flow. I've really enjoyed it.
amen,
I've really enjoyed it, and it's a reality of where we are and what God wants to do within our hearts and our lives. And I think the wisdom So yeah, family, it's myself, my co-host, Reginald Solomon, and your 118 preacher. God bless you. No.